Game 3 of the 1994 season. This is Joe Black. I'll be bringing you the color. Bob Day, the play-by-play in Game 3 of the 1994 season. The 2-0 Bearcats ranked number 3 in the state of Louisiana by the pollsters last week in Meadville. It looks like Willis is going to draw the kickoff duties to start the game tonight. The Bearcats have been rotating Josh Manning and Matt Willis at that job. Willis is also the punter for the Bearcats. And as Bob mentioned a little while ago, we had a big rain about 2 hours ago or so. Dropped a lot of water. The field's a little bit slippery. We'll get a report from Ed Abear in just a little bit as Willis will tee the ball up on the far hash mark on the left side of the field to kick to the well-coached, beleaguered Yellow Jackets 1-1 after losing some starters last year, but a very quick team, very well-coached team, and this is a game that obviously the Bearcats cannot take for granted. We're just about set to go, and here to bring you the play-by-play in game number 3 of this season, Bob Day.
Thank you, Joe, and hello once again, everyone. And as Joe said, Willis is just about set to kick it. He's got the ball on the 40, and we're underway. The ball coming out on the short side to this side of the field. Number 10 takes it at the 30 and cuts across the middle of the field. He is going to be hit and knocked down hard. That was Nathan Wyrick on the return. And Joe, a bruising tackle to start this ball game.
That was James Drayton down on the cover, Bob. A good job of peeling the blockers by several of the down men, and the kick was almost what some people used to call a sky kick. It was very, very high, floated down to the 30, not very deep, but it gave the Bearcats excellent time for coverage and a return only to the 31.
And that's where the Yellow Jackets put it in play. First down and 10 from their own 31-yard line. Just getting this football game underway, moving from our right to left, and that's north to south on the floor of James Field here in Ruston. And McMurray gives it off to the second man through. He may have gotten back to the line of scrimmage, may have picked up a half a yard, and no more. It'll be second down. Well, they're going to give him about a yard. Second down and close to 9. Ed? He's down on the field tonight, and we said about the heavy rains about an hour and a half ago. How are things down there?
Well, Bob, it's a little slick. However, you know, we've got a good domed field over here, and they've taken great care of it through the past summer. However, they did water it all week long because it was drying out. So it is a little bit more slick than it should be for this kind of rain that we just received.
Okay, second down, about 9, and the ball is on the ground, and let's see, the Bearcats have it at the 30-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. And so less than a minute to go, less than a minute has been played in this ballgame, Joe, and we have received a turnover already.
Bob, it looked like it was an unforced turnover from where I sat. It looked like the running back never got control of the ball. He bobbled it. He was hit, and Josh Manning fell on the ball, so the Bearcats very early in the first quarter with the first break, maybe turning it around after that first game last year when the Bearcats over in Shreveport had 6 turnovers in the regular season against the Yellow Jackets.
Well, we'll see how it goes tonight with a wet football on a wet field. Slot formation set to the right side. The ball resting between the hash marks. Give it off over this right side to Amos. Amos is down near the 25. They'll mark it closer. Well, they'll mark it at the 26. Gain of about 5. It'll be second down and 5 coming up for Ruston from the Yellow Jacket 26-yard line. 10:55 to play here in this opening quarter, and the Bearcats, the recipients of a big turnover very, very early in this football game. Put a wingman out on this right side. That's Trotter Hutt, and split the left end out a little bit. Hutt goes in motion to the left, and Bo Meeks pitches back to number 23, hustling around that left end. He's got running room. He's inside the 15, down near the 10-yard line. Goes Scotty Roan with a first down carry at the 10-yard line.
Bob, Ed had something down there on the field. If we could go down to him on that last turnover, maybe it has something to do with the weather conditions. Ed, you down there?
Well, the Byrd player never did get control of the ball. He was kind of tiptoeing on his fingertips as he was trying to make his catch, so he never did have control. Could be a wet ball.
It is first down and goal for the Bearcats. The ball at the 10-yard line, maybe just a breath inside the 10. Hand off over this right side, maybe a couple of yards down to the 8-yard line. It'll bring up second down for the Bearcats at that point. And who was that? Amos on the carry? 10 minutes to play. Or is that Scotty Rowan on the carry again? 10 minutes to play here in this opening quarter. Still no score, but the Bearcats with a golden opportunity after receiving a turnover from the Byrd High Yellow Jackets. Second down and goal at the 8. Here come the Bearcats. The ball resting halfway between the hash marks. Split the left end out for the wing man on this near side. That's Trotter Hunt on the wing. And a pitch back to Rowan once again, and he is going to hustle into the end zone for a Bearcat touchdown. And we've also got a flag that has just been dropped across the way in the end zone. 9:28 to play here in this opening quarter. And let's see if the touchdown is going to hold up. Scotty Rowan on the pitch back. Holding penalties coming against the Bearcats. So that's going to nullify the touchdown and bring it back, Joe.
And Bob, that hold was right at the very end of the play. It looked like Rowan was going to score, but the flag came in late. It must have been right before the tackle. Unfortunate penalty for the Bearcats, moving them back after the score at 9:28 left to go in the first quarter of play. And no score. Again, Bob, to our fans that might be driving around a little bit hesitant in coming to the ballpark, it's a good night. It looks like, as you said, there's some breakup in the clouds, and it looks like it's going to be an excellent night for football. A little bit cooler maybe because of the rain. So the fans, if they're hesitant, ought to come on out.
And we've still got folks coming in, and a good crowd across the way also has made the trip over from Shreveport. So as Joe said, if you're anywhere around the stadium, come on out. You should see a whale of a ball game tonight. It is second down, about 13 yards to go now for the Bearcats out at the 13-yard line of Byrd. And Meeks puts it in the air. It's down to the 5, inside the 5, down to around the 14-yard line. The recipient, Cornelius Sims, and it will bring a third down and goal around the 4-yard line.
Good job by Sims of making sure that he held on to the ball. He gathered it into his body, spun around to pick up an extra 4 or 5 yards. Good pass and reception by Meeks and Sims.
By the way, Bo Meeks needs 539 yards before that pass to move into first place on the all-time list here at Ruston High School. He trails Brad Laird coming into tonight's action by 539 yards. Third down and 4 for Ruston over this right side. Nothing is there, and the ball is on the ground. It's going to be picked up by the Byrd Yellow Jackets. He's up to the 15, 20, 25, and out to around the 35-yard line before he's finally knocked out of bounds. And Joe, turnover and fumbleitis may be a big thing in this football game tonight, as the Bearcats have just missed a golden opportunity.
Bob, I think Ed was right down on the sideline and saw the whole play. If we can go down to him on the field, Ed?
Well, it was just a good hit. There was a breakdown on the right side of the offensive line of the Bearcats, and there too many folks in. Matter of fact, there's about 3 or 4 of them. It was a forced turnover. Of course, I got to tell you, man, this field is slick. That ball is going to get wet tonight.
It is first down and 10. The ball, they mark it at the 30-yard line. So that's just about where Byrd started on the opening kickoff a little while ago. Slot set to the right side from their own 30-yard line. 8:24 to play in the opening quarter. And McMurray rolls back. He has got a lot of running room down that right side. He's out to the 40 and to about the 44-yard line. First down yardage, a gain of about 14 on that big quarterback who dealt us some misery last year over in Shreveport, Joe. I know you'll remember that, Leon Murray. He is a big fellow, too, 6'4", 185.
And he looks a little quicker than he did last year. A good play that time. It looked like, as you mentioned, Bob, that he could have run forever, but Kevin Stinson made a good play in the open field to shorten the run. But a first down for the Yellow Jackets just about at midfield. No, excuse me, at their own 44. 8:07 to go in the first quarter and no score.
Ball on the far hash mark. Wing set to this near side. That's to Byrd's left. The right end split out. McMurray is your quarterback. First down and 10, and the Bearcat defense jumps, and flags go to the field once again. We've had 2 turnovers already in this football game, and just tick over 5 minutes has been played.
Bob, that last turnover by the Bearcats, it was forced, as Ed said, but it looked like the turnover was right at the end of the play. If he had maybe been able to go down to the ground, maybe there wouldn't have been a fumble call, but there were so many players under him, the ball squirted loose. The Bearcats lost the scoring opportunity, and now they have a penalty bringing up a 1st and 5 for the Yellow Jackets. The ball at the Byrd 49.
Joey, I've mentioned it, but we were very lucky, the Yellow Jacket, to pick that ball up. He had clear sailing in front of him, and he had about 95 yards of real estate, and we were lucky to catch him and get him out of bounds. It's 1st and 5 Handoff over this left side, out across the midfield stripe, into Bearcat territory down to about the 47-yard line. It's going to come up about a yard, maybe a yard and a half shy of a first down. It'll be second down and about a yard and a half to go for the Yellow Jackets. The ball at the 47 of Ruston.
Ray Peace in on that tackle together with the ever-present Victor Robinson, bringing up a second and about 1.5 inside Bearcat territory for the first time tonight. 7:07 to go in the first quarter of play and no score on the scoreboard.
Well, we'll see what this Bearcat defense can do now. They're being threatened. Second down and about a yard and a half to go at the 47 of Ruston. Wing step to this left side and a handoff over this left side. First down yardage inside the 45, down to about the 44-yard line. It'll be first and 10 for Byrd at the Bearcat 44 on a carry over this left side by Kendrick Turner.
Matt Willis and Michael Green in on the tackle. That play obviously was designed just to pick up the first down as the running back just tiptoed to the left side of the line, picking up the first down. It will be first and 10 on the Bearcat 44-yard line. 6 minutes, 40 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. No score.
This quarterback, McMurray, rather just Murray, not McMurray, but Leon Murray, he constantly scares you after what we saw him do to us last year over in Shreveport. Man in motion to the right side. A slot set up to that side, and Murray drops back. Swings it downfield. It's complete. First down yardage, and the ball's on the ground. Let's see who's got it. It's at the 34-yard line. And let's see, the Bearcats have got it once again. And I believe that was Michael Green on the recovery, Joe. First and 10 Bearcats. 3 fumbles, less than 6 minutes has been played.
Bob, that was a good pass by Murray. He hit his wide receiver. That was number 5, Jason Green. He was hit hard, caught the ball up, and as you mentioned, in less than 6 minutes of the first quarter, we've already had our third turnover, and the Bearcats again take over. First and 10 just outside their own 33.
Here they come to the line. Put a slot formation out to this near side. Marcus Rowan, the right end, split out. Trotter Hunt in the slot to this near side. Bo Meeks looks over that Yellow Jacket defense. Little pass play. More or less a little shovel out to number 23, and he comes around his right side. Scotty Rowan doing a lot of the carrying early in this football game tonight. He's across the 35, up near, well, I think they'll mark it at the 38-yard line. So good yardage of about 5 yards on that first down play.
Bob, you mentioned that was a little bit unusual play in the Bearcats' offensive scheme. As you mentioned, Meeks just stepped back and just quickly tossed it to Roan. Didn't grab back in a normal passing position. Interesting little call by the Bearcats.
First time we've seen that play this year. Wing set to this near side, and the Bearcats jump off, and flags go down, rather the Yellow Jackets jump offside as flags are on the ground again, and let's see. It will be offsides marked against Byrd, and that'll move the ball out across the 40 up near first down yardage at the 43-yard line. Maybe just the length of the football shy of a Bearcat first down.
Bob, no way to tell whether Meeks did anything with his count or his cadence, but there were about 3 Yellow Jackets, not just one that jumped off sides, and it's close enough for a measurement. And Bob, you haven't, well, I was going to say that. You haven't stuck your neck out this year and called one, so did he make it or not?
Now, it looks just like he may be about the length of the football short of a first down. Here come the chains, and we'll take a long look. You're 0 for 1, aren't you?
No, I'm 1 for 2, and I've never had one right in front of me like you have this one.
See? All right. Oh, I got that one, yeah. Well, he's about an inch shy, I believe, of a first down. Maybe not quite that far. Just an inch short of a first down. It'll bring up second down and about an inch for the Bearcats.
That looks like more like 3/4 of an inch.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay.
Very close.
It's actually 3/8 of an inch.
Okay, yeah, there you go. The 3/8 of an inch. Ed's closer to it down there, and he had his yardstick out. It is second down, and ever what you would have believe, 3/4, 3/8, or an inch. Here they come. Bearcats up to the line. The ball sitting on this near hash mark, and Hunt on a wing to this right side, left end split out. 5:35 and counting left in this first period, and a handoff to Trotter Hunt on a little wing reverse, and Trotter's out to about the 45-yard line. Gain of a couple, but that still is enough for the Bearcat first down as they move the chains to the 45 of Ruston. First and 10. No score in this football game.
Play a little bit slow in developing with that reverse, but Hunt made sure to hold on to the ball. No, not wanting a turnover in their own territory. Picked up the first down. The ball rests right on the Bearcat 45-yard line. 5 minutes, 26 seconds to go in the first quarter. No score.
And the crowd continues to come in at James Field, and if you're anywhere around, we certainly invite you on out. Bo Meeks on a handoff, and Marcus Amos heads rapidly around that left end and then cuts upfield and out to about the 49-yard line. And if we got a flag down on the field once again, we do have a yellow flag laying on this near side. So let's see what we've got now. Procedure called against the Ruston Bearcats. They'll mark off 5 and move the ball back to about the 40-yard line of Ruston, and it'll bring up first down and 15. As Amos carried the ball out to about the 48. Well, I'm saying they'll move it back. We'll have to wait and see what Byrd decides to do. Clock stop with 5 minutes, 10 seconds left to play here in this opening period, and here comes the 5-yard penalty, steps off, and moves it back to the Bearcat 40. It'll bring up first down and 15 for Bobix and this offensive crew of the Bearcats.
Bob had mentioned that the field was wet. You wonder whether the players, some of their timing might be just a little bit off, affecting the game, not just in the turnover department, as we've had several penalties already, and the Bearcats have called timeout. We have 5 minutes and 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter of play from James Field. No score. We'll take a 30-second break. You're listening to Bearcat football. Left to go in the first quarter of play. No score. The Bearcats had a marvelous golden scoring opportunity early in the quarter as they fumbled the ball right at the goal line. Byrd almost returned the ball, as Bob mentioned. A good tackle by, I think it was J.P. Love on that play, but there have been 4 penalties, 3 turnovers by both teams, and a little bit sloppy so far. Bob?
First down and 15. The ball resting at the Bearcat 40-yard line. Slot set to this right side, and a little draw play to Amos, and he goes nowhere. As a matter of fact, may have lost a yard or 2 back inside the 40. I think they'll mark it around the 39. So a loss of a yard there. It'll bring up second down and 16.
Bob, Coach Gillum mentioned before the game that the Yellow Jackets maybe were not as big. We might be bigger than they are tonight, but you could see their quickness on that play. If they don't get that first block and carry it, that they're quick to swarm around the ball, and that caused, about a 2 or 3 yard loss on that play. Second down, and we'll call it 16 on the Bearcat 39.
Here they come to the line. Put a wide out to this right side and put Hunt on a wing to the left. This is Marcus Roan out to this right side, and Amos comes in motion to this near side, and Bo Meeks dropping back. Big rush coming, sets up a tight end screen pass, and he has got J.P. Love, and Love is hustling upfield, and the big fellow crosses midfield and down to around the 46 of the Yellow Jackets, and it's going to be about a yard shy of a Bearcat first down.
Bob Meeks did an excellent job setting up that screen. He looked like he was going to be tackled. That's what the screen is for. And he flipped it out to Love, who almost was tackled in the backfield. He broke 1 or 2 tackles, and as you mentioned, just kind of a bulldog hard run up the left sideline. A good job bringing up a 3rd and short.
Big fellow, when he gets started, he is tough to bring down. 6'4", 200 pounds of him. It's 3rd down and about a yard and a half to go for the Bearcats. Wing Hunt set to the left side. Bo Meeks handoff over that left side, and Marcus dives under everybody, and he's got yardage for his first down inside the 45. They'll mark it down near the 43 of the Yellow Jackets. First down and 10 for Ruston at that point. 3:35 to play here in this opening period. No score in our ball game. Ruston had a big scoring chance, but fumbled inside the 5-yard line and lost it to Byrd. But Byrd has turned it over twice to Ruston so far here in this opening period. So that's where we stand right now. No score, 3:23 and counting. And this time, Ruston comes up from an I formation, wing left, and a handoff to the tailback. Amos gets a running start at it and tries to get over this right side. Not much doing. May ain't gotten to the 41-yard line. Gain of a couple, and that's going to be about all.
Bob, Amos was going right up the middle off the right guard side, and they've tried that play on both sides of center 2 or 3 times tonight, maybe more, and just not much going there. You wonder whether they're testing him, trying to draw him in to set up a bigger play, as Meeks had the strong passing night last week, and let's see if he airs it out as the Bearcats face a 2nd and 9 on the Yellow Jacket 42.
Mark it at the 42. Slot set to this right side. The ball resting on the far hash mark. Ruston going toward the north from our left to right. Bo pitch is back. Coming around this right side. Flags are down. And getting inside the 40, down to about the 39-yard line goes Scotty Rome. But keep in mind, once again, we've got yellow flags on this side side of the field. And we have got another holding call coming up against Ruston on this particular play.
Bob, the flag was thrown quickly and definitely by the sideline official over here. He was right on top of the play. And again, the Bearcats with the opportunity to move it downfield, shoot themselves in the foot a little bit at the 2:29 mark in the first quarter. We have no score as the official gives the call, holding against the Bearcats. That will move it back to the Bearcat 47-yard line. 2:29 to go in the first quarter play. No score as Meeks gets the call from the sidelines.
Well, as Joe said, back out to the 47 of Ruston. Back down to the 47 of Ruston. They'll bring up second down and about, close to 20. And here they come to the line. Wing set to the left side. That's Trotter Hunt. Wide out to this near side, and that's David Smith. And Bo Meeks on a swing pass to the big tight end, J.P. Love. And Love is going to be hit and knocked down to the ground out about the 48-yard line, so he's going to be upfield for only about a yard and not much more.
Love reached high in the air to grab the ball down, but when he did, that slowed him just a little bit, and the Yellow Jacket defenders were right on the spot. As we mentioned earlier, they are well coached. They're very quick, and they were quick to the ball that time as Cornelius Sims checks into the ball game for the Bearcats.
Of course, the Yellow Jackets had a tremendous year last year, going undefeated in the regular season, but they have lost 24 seniors off that team from last year. But they've still got some cream off that team, including that big quarterback Murray. And Bo Meeks on a little swing pass. It's going to be incomplete. Let's see, was it going to be called? It is going to be called a lateral, so it's a fumble and a turnover as the Byrd High Yellow Jackets pounce on it. And recovering is Craig Harris, and that is turnover number 2 for the Bearcats.
Bob, the ball was just flipped out there, and like you said, it was very close, but it was indeed a lateral. At least that's what it looked like from where we were up here. I think the official made a good call. The Bearcats fell asleep. The Yellow Jackets jumped on it, and the second turnover of the night for the Bearcats gives the Yellow Jackets the ball, 1st and 10 on the Ruston 41.
1:21 to play here in this opening quarter. Still no score in this football game. Wing right, left end split out to this near side. And now Murray's going to put a man in motion to this near side, give it off to the first man through over the right, and not much is over there. He may have gotten down to about the 40-yard line, and that's going to be all as a whole host of Ruston Bearcats were there to greet him being Kyle Thomas.
Matt Turner and Richard Anderson primarily in on that tackle for the Bearcats. A good job of plugging up the middle for just a 1-yard gain. That brings up 2nd and 9 on the just inside the Bearcat 40. 53 seconds left to go in the first quarter, and no score in a first quarter so far, Bob, that's been marred by penalties and turnovers.
Well, it is second down. The ball just about the length inside the Bearcat 40-yard line. Second and about 9. All 4 drives have ended on fumbles so far, so we haven't had to worry about anybody punting. And here's a little screen pass trying to get set up, and not much is going to happen, but he breaks a couple of tackles and may have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. That was a Murray, the quarterback, rolling way back, and a big rush coming, and he was trying to set that screen pass up. They did, and then the receiver cut back to the far side of the field, Joe. So there was some running and carrying on all over the field that time.
I think Derek Hill must have run 40 yards on that play, Bob, to not gain a yard.
As a matter of fact, lost a yard.
That's right, and that brings up a 3rd and 10. The ball resting just outside the Ruston 41, and the officials are calling time. Let's see what the delay is. That's the end of the first
quarter. So after 1 here, our score, it's Ruston nothing, Byrd nothing. Let's take a 60-second break. You're listening to Bearcat Football. Murray drops back to pass, and the big rush is coming. He drops the ball back out near midfield, and let's see who was on it, or see if the officials are going to say he was down. Let's see. It's going to be a fumble, and the Bearcats have got it at the 49-yard line of Byrd. Well, Joe, that is now 5.
It looked like that was Randall Anders that might have caused that fumble. It was Ray Peace who picked the ball up, and the 5th turnover of the night gives the Bearcats 1st and 10 on their own 49-yard line. First quarter stats: first downs Ruston 3, Byrd 2. Total offense for the Bearcats 66, Byrd 41. There were 4 turnovers. Penalties, the Bearcats penalized for 26 yards, the Yellow Jackets 9.
Well, see if the Bearcats can get kick-started here. Slot formation set to the right side, and a handoff over the right side. Big hole there inside the 45. Down to about the 41-yard line goes Cornelius Sims, and he's going to be close to a first down. I think he may be just about a half-yard shy.
Bob, it looked like Andrew James and DeMoss did a good job along with Martin opening up the hole on that right side, leaving the Bearcats with a second and short. David Smith brings the play in for the Bearcats. We've just started the second quarter of play. If you've just joined us, no score in a first quarter marred with penalties and turnovers. 4 turnovers ended all 4 drives, and Meeks has a 2nd and 1. Bob?
And on the first play of the second quarter, we had a turnover by the Byrd Yellow Jackets. And Bo Meeks is going to be hit, and Bo is going to be dropped. He's still trying to get it away, and he is all the way back around his 45. I think they'll mark it down at the 47-yard line of the Bearcats. Back at the 47 of Ruston, so that's going to bring up 3rd and long as they had it 2nd and about a half yard.
Bob Meeks was hit pretty early. He looked like he wanted to go down and then hesitated, maybe trying to get rid of it and then go down again, and that cost a couple yards. That was the first sack on Bo Meeks in this 1994 season, coming in the 10th quarter of play.
Incidentally, Ruston had outscored their opponents so far in the first 2 games of this year, 28-7 in the first quarter, but were held scoreless tonight. No score, 10:22 to play in the first half. Meeks on a handoff to Sims. Sims over that right side. He's inside the 50, down to about the 47-yard line of Byrd, and it's going to bring up 4th down and about 5-6 yards to go. And 5 turnovers so far in this football game, and we are just 2 minutes into the second quarter. Is there some good hitting down there, or is the ball a bit wet?
Well, Bob, there's just enough rain. It's not really rain. It's kind of like a heavy mist that keeps falling, and it's got to cover the ball. They're not covering the ball, and it's got to be affecting the play because that ball's got to be slippery. It just continues a heavy mist down here on the field.
Okay, first punt of the night as Matt Willis drops back to his own 40, gets the snap. Good snap it is, and a good punt. And it's going to head over to the far side. The ball is on the ground again. And several Bearcats are down there. They're saying, we got it. Let's see. The ball is around the 16-yard line of Byrd. And let's see who's got it. Well, Byrd got it back. Byrd has got it back at their own 16. It'll be 1st and 10 at that point. 9:28 to play. And Joe, almost another one.
Almost, Bob. He tried to bring it in, never caught it cleanly. It bobbled off his shoulder pads as he tried to drag it in, and it went on the ground. The Bearcats were there. Almost got it, not quite. And the Yellow Jackets take over 1st and 10, just inside their own 16-yard line. 9:28 to go in the first half. No score.
Probably closer to the 15, maybe closer to the 16. I think the tip of the ball is just touching the 16. 1st and 10. Put a man far out to this right side. Also one out to the left. Broke him out of the eye. First down for Murray. Murray gives it off to the second man forward. He's going to be hit back inside the 15, around the 14-yard line. Loss of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and 12.
Good job by Ray Peace as he fought off the block and just made an open field one-on-one tackle and brought him down for a loss. Let's see if the officials are going to say about 2 yards or so, maybe 3, as we have 9:05 to go in the first half. No score. The Yellow Jackets have the ball deep in their own territory.
Mark the ball at their 14, 2nd and 12. Murray getting a play from the Byrd bench across the way, and here they come. At their own 14-yard line. Wideouts to either side as Murray looks over that Bearcat defensive unit, and Murray's going to drop back and put a pass out here in the right flat. It's complete, but it's going to be hit immediately as he fights his way forward for about another yard out to about the 21-yard line before Kenny Wright was finally able to bring him to the ground. That was on the reception, Robert Dowell.
Ed Hebert, that Kenny Wright just made a beautiful open field tackle right in front of you. Did you hear the leather pop down there?
Yeah, I wanted to turn the mic on and get a little closer, but then actually that was close enough for me. I'm about 5 yards away from it, and it's a lot of leather popping, a lot of smash-mouth football out on the field tonight. But with the ball as wet as it is, I think we've got a lot more turnovers to come.
8 minutes 5 seconds to play here in this first half. Still no score. Third down, about 5. Murray dropping back. Rush coming. Murray puts it upfield. Complete! Oh, what a catch right between two Bearcats, Joe. He held on to that one. That was down again on the catch.
Bob, that was right between Robinson and Mason, and that was just a beautiful pass. There's no other way to describe it. It's like a rifle shot between the two defenders. It was well covered, and he made a good catch, but I think he's slightly short of the first down. Let's see where they spotted it.
Well, I think we're going to bring up. The change will be coming out one more time. 7 minutes, 30 seconds to play here in this opening half. In the first half, still no score in this football game. Bearcats had Byrd backed up to their own 14, second down and 12, but on 2 passes from Murray, they have a first down.
They got a good spot, and the Yellow Jackets pick up a critical first down, 1st and 10 on their own 26-yard line. 7 minutes, 30 seconds to go in the first half. No score, and you just keep waiting for the big play, Bob, but hasn't happened yet with all the turnovers.
1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Murray's very, very strong arm, and looking down, Joe, it's much more so than last year. Slot set to the left side on their own 26-yard line on a first down play for the Byrd Yellow Jackets. And Ruston almost jumps down, then comes in motion to this near side. Handoff over this side. He's going to be knocked down back inside the 25, around the 24-yard line. It'll bring up second down, and once again, close to 12 yards to go. Second down coming up, 6:50, and the clock continues to run here with still no score in the football game. Move the ball back just inside the 25-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. And here they come up to the line on the second down play, 6.5 minutes to play. No score if you're just joining us from James Field. Third-ranked Bearcats against Byrd High Yellow Jackets. And Murray, big pass play out across the 35, 40, 43-yard line. Goes Bo Flurry for first down yardage for Byrd.
And Bob Murray just spun around like he was going to toss it or pitch it, and quickly looked at his tight end, who was wide open at the 35-yard line. He scooted forward for about another 8 yards or so, and a good Byrd first down. Good play by Murray to his receiver. 1st and 10 on their own, let's call it 42-yard line. 6 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the first half, and no score.
That's where they are at the 42. Slot set to the left side as the Bearcat defense has let Byrd get out of their grip. They were back on their own 14, and flags fly all over the field. Ed, we're starting to see umbrellas pop up all over the stadium now. Are we getting rain out there?
Well, yeah, the heavy mist is now turning to a couple of raindrops. It's still not exactly what you would call rain. It's really kind of funny. It's a very heavy mist, and every now and then you're going to get a good-sized raindrop, so I guess that's why the umbrellas are going up. Actually, I kind of wish it would quit. I'm in the slicker down here, and it's warm.
I bet so. 5 yards stepped off against the Byrd Yellow Jackets. They moves the ball back down to their own 37-yard line. It brings up 1st and 15 now. 1st and 15. And 5:42 and counting in the first half. Murray back. Murray's being rushed. Murray puts the ball upfield. It's going to be incomplete. Had the man there, but it was just a little bit too low for Kendrick Turner to pick it off the ground.
Good job of pressure that time by Kevin Stinson, who was rushing Murray. Murray never got into position to set himself and throw it. He would have had the man open, like you said, Bob, but a good defensive job that time by Kevin Stinson, the senior.
Second down and 15 yards to go for Byrd at their 37-yard line. Stops the clock with 5:35 in a game so far that has been filled with turnovers, reminiscent to what we saw last year over in Byrd in that first game, but most of the turnovers in that game was all Ruston's. But tonight they've just about been split half and half. Murray drops back again, got his man out here at the 50-yard line, but once again throws it too low, and Robert Dowell that time couldn't come up with it, and it's going to bring up third down and 15, and we've got a Byrd High player down on the field, so we've got a clock stop with 5:32 to play in the first half. Our score, Ruston nothing, Byrd nothing, a 30-second break. You're listening to Bearcat Football.
Hey, and Ed A. there on the sidelines. The Bearcats are on defense. The Yellow Jackets have the ball 3rd and 15 on their own 37-yard line. The Bearcats early in the first quarter had an opportunity to score and fumbled right about the 2-yard line. It was returned. The Bearcats have turned the ball over twice on fumbles, the Yellow Jackets 3 times. The Yellow Jackets, however, in a scoreless game, have it 3rd and 15 on their own 37. Bob?
Well, the Bearcats come into tonight's game averaging 51 points a game, so this is really slaughtering their points per game total. And here from the shotgun, pitches and catches is McDowell, and he's going to be about 6-7 yards shy of a first down up to his own 46-yard line. As Murray that time threw to Robert Dowell.
Looked like it might have been Anderson and Mason in on the tackle. Corey Mason as the Bearcats set up apparently a punting situation. With the ball resting on the 40, well, they haven't put it down yet, but we have 4 minutes, 58 seconds to go and counting as Byrd will punt for the first time tonight.
Bo Fleury is back to do the punting for the Yellow Jackets, and Ruston sends back deep. Kenny Wright to receive it. 4:46 and counting left in this first half. Still no score. High snap from center, but Fleury picks it down and gets a punt coming down, and Wright's going to take it. Wright puts it on the ground. Now he picks it up, and he gets away from one tackler, and he's going to be hemmed up there and dropped around his own 15-yard line. So Joe, very, very, very close to another one right there.
Bob, he fumbled once and he just fumbled again. Apparently there was a scramble and the Byrd Yellow Jackets are screaming at the officials that they recovered, but Kenny Wright picked the ball up, and as he was being tackled as he got away, he apparently fumbled it again, but I don't know whether it was Kenny or somebody else that recovered it, but the Bearcats died.
They all got it.
And it was deep in their own territory had that ball been turned over.
At their own 15-yard line, as a matter of fact. 15-yard line, here comes the Bearcats up to the line. 4:29 to play in this first half. Still no score in the game. Bo Meeks looks over that Byrd defense. Bo on a draw play. Big hole over this left side. And Scotty Roan comes wheeling and dealing out to the 30-yard line. A gain of 15 brings it 1st and 10 for Ruston. And Ed, that was a goodie there.
What it was, Bob, was a lot of great blocking on the left side of the Bearcat line. In an unbalanced line position, we've heard that Ruston's going to try to run some unbalanced line to kind of mess up the defense and get them confused, and it looks like it worked like a charm like in the last play.
From an I formation, Bo Meeks and little wingback reverse. Trotter Hunt's got it. Trotter Hunt out to near the 40-yard line. Going to come up maybe about a yard shy of the 40. They'll mark it at the 39, and he's going to be close to another Bearcat first down. Joe, it looks like he may be just about a half-yard shy.
Bob, we've got a flag down on the play while we wait. I want to say that Bo Meeks did an excellent job of faking that time to set up that play to Hunt. It looks like it's going to go against Byrd. And Meeks is saying, well, they're waving the flag off. Again, that's one of those mysterious flags that comes out, and then they had second thoughts. But anyway, a big running play by the Bearcats by Trotter Hunt, bringing up a second, and let's see where they mark it. Let's call it about...
We got to check with Ed right now, too. Ed, we see a mass umbrella raising here in the stands and plastic coming out everywhere. Is your mist turning into rain now?
Yes, now we are officially in rain. And a mass of umbrellas. Okay, you're right on that one.
Okay, second down, about a half yard. Bo Meeks rolls wide. Bo Meeks looks downfield. Bo Meeks has got a man down here and overthrows David Smith by about a yard, maybe a couple of yards at the Byrd 25-yard line. He had him there, Joe.
Bob, that's one of those plays. Smith was open. A beautiful pass that was about some 40 yards in the air. Meeks really aired it out well and just slightly overthrown to David Smith, who would have caught it at the 30-yard line, but that brings up a 3rd and short. I like that call. It was 2nd and short. Rather than being real conservative, they went for the big one, didn't get it. Now let's see if they pick up the first down.
Now you try to get your first down on 3rd down, about a half yard to go from near their own 39. And a handoff to Roan out to the 45, 46-yard line. Got his first down and a whole lot more, and that'll stop the clock 3:15 as they move the chains. And, sitting up here, Joe, right now, looking down across this stadium and at all the umbrellas, kind of looks like you're maybe at a golf tournament and everybody's playing at night.
Well, Bob, I was talking a little while ago, it would be important for the Bearcats to try to score before halftime, because if it turns into mush in the second half, anything can happen.
Yeah, as you were saying, remember the Neville game last year. Handoff over the right side up to midfield. Gain of a couple of yards. It's going to bring up second down and about 8 yards to go, closer to 7 maybe. 2:55 and counting as the Bearcats go without the huddle and come to the line, trying to get something on that board before halftime. No score in this football game as the Rains have started now. Second down and 7. The ball right at midfield. Bo Meeks looks over that Byrd defense and gives it off over the right side. Absolutely nothing is there. Maybe a half yard at the most, and that's going to be all, Joe, as they shut that down completely.
Bob, big play here as the Bearcats face a third and about 6 or 7 yards to go as Smith and Hunt trot onto the field. The Bearcats have both timeouts left, but the clock is moving with 2:18 and counting in the first half. No score, and the Bearcats would dearly love to get a score before half.
Well, they were going to try to get to the line and go without a huddle, but they had to hustle back to the huddle very quickly and now break out, and now somebody's going to call a timeout. Let's see what we have out there. Okay, we've got a break in the action. Timeout for Byrd. 2:02 to play here in the first half. No score. A 30-second break coming. You're listening to Bearcat football.
3rd and 7. The ball rests right on the midfield stripe on the 50-yard line. The Yellow Jackets just used their first timeout as the Bearcats regroup. After that timeout, Coach Gillum ran on to the field to give some instructions, and here come the Bearcats. Bob?
Okay, it'll be 3rd down and about 6 yards to go, maybe closer to 7. The ball is still well, they've got it resting right at midfield, so it's 3rd and 7. And Bo Meeks handoff over this left side. As the ball's on the ground, and it looks like Byrd has it. And let's see if the official says they do. And Ruston's players now are saying we've still got it, so the Bearcats still have it. But it's going to bring up 4th down. The ball at the 45-yard line of Byrd. 4th and a couple of yards to go. Joe, what do you do now? 1:55 left here in this first half.
Well, I don't know what I was really
going,
but I know what Coach Gillum just called on the 4th and 2 big break. As you mentioned, the Bearcats nearly turned it over again. 1:45 and the clock is moving.
4th down and about 2 yards to go. The ball at the Byrd 45-yard line. No score in this football game. Wing set to the right side. Bo Meeks. And Bo Meeks now is going to take a timeout as he looked over the defense with 1:32 to play in the first half. So we'll take another break. A 30-second break coming. You're listening to Bearcat football. Matt Willis is into the ball game now as the Bearcats have decided to kick it away on a 4th down and 2 at the 45. Nope, it's a fake. And first down yardage and more. Heading down the far sideline, inside the 30, inside the 20 and out of bounds, around the 16-yard line. And you know who was that?
That was
Dean, yes, on the carry.
Now, Bob, I said it off the air, but was I calling it?
You called it perfect.
Well, I
said we're going to punt. Here comes Willis out, and you said, yeah, but it may be a fake.
I didn't.
So now everybody knows.
Well, I thought T.J. Bryan was going to have the ball, though. That was the 38-yard run by Dean, and the Bearcats, Bob, have one timeout left as the ball is
at the 16, around the 16, on to 17-yard line with 1:16 and counting left here in this first half. 1st and 10. Hunt comes in motion to this near side and pitching it back to Roan. Roan cuts up, and the ball is on the ground, but it's picked up by the Bearcats at around the 11-yard line. So right on the spot there was the big tight end, J.P. Love, who looked down at his feet, and the ball rolled up to him.
Bob, J.P.'s seen a lot of action tonight. I don't know if he was looking for that, but I'm glad he was where he was because Roan coughed the ball up, and J.P. might have picked up an extra yard on the recovery, but the clock is moving with 47 seconds to go.
And it is 2nd down. The ball at around the 11-yard line of Byrd. Here come the Bearcats to the line. And Hunt comes in motion. Now, Bo is dropping back. He's got a screen set up. It's to Dean. Dean is out there all by himself now. Breaks a couple of tackles. He's inside the 10. Down near the 5-yard line. Let's see. He's got his first down. It'll be 1st and goal to go at about the 4-yard line with 23 seconds to play in the half. And the Bearcats have called timeout. So we've got a break in the action. We'll come back for the final 23 seconds. In 30 seconds, you're listening to Bearcat football in the first half.
No score. The ball rests just inside the 5-yard line. A good job on that play by Bartholomew Dean. However, the Bearcats are out of timeouts. Coach Gillum talking to the Bearcats offensive unit out on the field. And with 23 seconds to go, let's see if the Bearcats can draw first blood as the first half is winding down. So far, it's scoreless. Bob?
Well, it looks like the range apparently has slowed a little bit. We've got several umbrellas that have gone down, but we've still got a lot of them up. But it is first and goal to go. The ball just inside it's at the Byrd 4-yard line. Full house backfield. It's now or never for Ruston. No score in the football game. Trotter Hunt comes in motion to this near side. And Bo Meeks is going to carry it himself. And Bo Meeks is going to be down and hit hard at the 1-yard line. Couldn't get out of bounds. The clock running with 13, 12, 11, 10. Let's see if they can get it back out here in time. I don't believe they're going to make it. It's down to 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They could not get to play off, and so as the half comes to an end, our score is Ruston nothing, and the Byrd High Yellow Jackets nothing, and the Ruston Bearcats, Joe, are upset that the officials did not get the ball back in play a little faster than they did at that time. Ed, what's going on down there?
Well, I tell you what, I've never seen a ref be quite as slow to mark a ball as I just saw. I was, probably within 20 feet, and he just kind of took his time on marking the ball. Bo was in back of center. He was ready to take the snap at about the 4-second mark, and the ref just held on to the ball and then finally put it down and wouldn't get out of the way. And time just ran out. Coach Gillum just ran out to the field to express his opinion to the referee also.
Okay, so that's where we are. Getting halftime started off, and our score, we're still right where we were when we started this football game. No score. It's Ruston nothing and the Byrd High Yellow Jackets nothing. So stay with us as halftime festivities are getting all set to start here from James Field in Ruston. Right now, though, with our scores, we said Ruston nothing, Byrd nothing. Let's take a 2-minute break. A 2-minute break coming. You're listening to Bearcat Football. Robinson, the deep man, Derek Moreland, and Amos, the three deep men for the Bearcats. And kicking away will be Chuck McBee for the Byrd High Yellow Jackets. And the left footer gets his foot into it and drives it way down there. And Victor Robinson into the end zone, and he's going to come out and heads upfield, and he's hit at the 15, breaks the tackle to the 20, 25, 30, still on his feet out to the 40-yard line. What a run back by Victor Robinson, Joe, as the kickoff took him about 2 yards deep into the end zone.
Bob, I think the official thought that he may take the touchback, but Victor didn't hesitate for a moment. He was hit hard, or let me change that. He hit the tackler hard at about the 15. Anybody else would have gone down. He squirted outside, and you know, when the Bearcats want a big play as they go without huddle, I give it to you, who do they bring in but Victor Robinson, and he made it happen.
He made it happen. He gives them the ball first and 10 at their own 40. Here's a pass play, wide open, he throws it out of bounds as Bo Meeks had number 22, Marcus Amos, at the 50-yard line, Joe. Nobody on Byrd even saw him, and he would have been long gone for 6.
Bob, as you mentioned, Amos had absolutely no defender within 15 yards of him. That was their trick play. They went without a huddle. Amos was wide open. They didn't see him near the sideline. I'm guessing by the way that ball flew, it must have slipped off Meeks' hands because it went way, way high in the air.
And he had him out here. Marcus was just like he had been on another field. So, put a man in the slot to this right side. Wide out to the right side. Bo Meeks hands it off over the right side, and nothing is there for Scotty Roan. He got maybe a yard up to the 41-yard line. So, it's going to bring up third down and about 9. No score starting this third period here in Ruston at James Field. And some shockers and some surprises around the state tonight. As we said at halftime, the number 1, 2, and 3 teams in the state of Louisiana, Joe, are in a mess right now.
Well, Bob, between the 3 of them, they've only scored 7 points in 6 quarters of ball tonight.
That's it. Third down and 9 yards to go. Wing set left, and Bo Meeks drops back. He's got plenty of time. Puts a pass over the far side, and it's going to be out of bounds and incomplete, and kicking time for the Bearcats. So that brilliant run back by Victor goes for naught as the Bearcats can't move it, and they'll have to kick it away from their own 41-yard line.
Well, Trotter Hunt was the intended receiver across the way, but Bob, he was very well covered by the Byrd defense, and you sense that they came out of their own locker room pretty fired up as Willis goes back to punt.
Well, what an opportunity they had on that first down play, but Bo Meeks couldn't hit Amos over on this near sideline. And the punt's away, and it's going to sail downfield and take it at the 25 and upfield for maybe a yard or two to about the 27-yard line, and that's where the Byrd Yellow Jackets will put it in play. First and 10, their first offensive series here in the second half at their own 27.
Bob, an excellent job downfield by Andrew James, the snapper. He was almost clipped as he was going in to make the tackle, but fought that off and held the receiver, the punt receiver, to no gain at all to speak of, and a good job of coverage. And let's see if the Bearcats can make something happen defensively, as offensively we just haven't put the points on the board yet.
10:57 in this third period. No score in the ball game, in case you're just joining us. A wing set to this left side, the ball resting at their own 27-yard line. And Murray hands it off over that right side, upfield maybe for a yard, and that's going to be off before big old number 81, Josh Manning, pulled him down from behind by the jersey. May have gotten a yard and a half.
And Bob, you mentioned correctly, he pulled him down from behind. It looked like he had some smooth sailing in front of him, but Manning is not only big, but he's very quick, and he just reached those big old paws out there and pulled him down.
Up to the 29-yard line, a gain of about a yard and a half. We'll call it second down and a long 8 yards to go for the Yellow Jackets. Ball on the far hash. Left end split out to this near side. A man in the slot to this side also as Murray's dropping back. Murray puts the ball in the air, and it's going to be incomplete out near midfield. It was intended for Dowell, but he was well covered.
Bobby was well covered by Mason and let's see, Green, and I can't see that other number. I think that's Willis. He didn't look up, though. He might have been open, but he must have been looking for the pass to go elsewhere. And when the pass went by to add insult to injury, Green just kind of gave him a little hello, knock him down call. He may be looking for Michael Green's number next time he's in the neighborhood.
Third down and a long 8 yards to go. Ball almost snapped over Murray's head, but he's got his receiver out here in the clear, and he has got it, and he has got first down yardage, it looks like, up near the 38-yard line.
That was a heck of a tackle by Corey Mason.
That was Byrd on the reception for the Byrd Yellow Jackets. And they'll move the chains. It is 1st and 10 for Byrd at their own 38-yard line.
Bob, I think he probably made the first down, but you know, that was a nonchalant mark and a very quick call. It was a lot closer than they took the time for that time anyway, but they called the quick first down, and they have it 1st and 10 on their own 38. 9:55 to go in the third quarter, and no score.
Still no score in this ball game. Wing set to the right side this time. Now he heads in motion. That's Dowell for the Byrd Yellow Jackets, and the ball almost fumbled, and handoff to the second man through. He's going to be knocked down back inside the 35. I think they'll give him forward progress, though, at the 36. Still, though, a loss of a couple of yards.
Bob, as you mentioned, the handoff was good, but Murray never had the ball very well. He bobbled it. That split second gave the Bearcats defenders time enough to converge, and they say it's about a 2-yard loss. 2nd and 12 with 9:17 to go in the third quarter of play, and no score.
Just in case you didn't get a couple of those scores at halftime over in Jackson, Mississippi, it's Provine 12, Washita nothing, and over in West Monroe, it's West Monroe 7, Carroll nothing. That game also at halftime. Neville's up on Opelousas at halftime, 14-0. Murray drops back. Murray puts it down. It's going to be incomplete, and we've got a flag way back downfield at the Bearcat 44-yard line. It's about 20 yards upfield, this flag is. Let's see what we've got.
Delay of game against
the Byrd Yellow Jackets.
The reason the flag was way in the backfield is that official keeps the official time.
And the official timepiece said they took too long. Moves it back down to the 31-yard line. It'll bring up 2nd down and about 16, 17 yards to go for the Yellow Jackets from their own 31. 8:53 here in the third. Murray this time going from the shotgun at his own 31, and we'll have flags down again as the Byrd line was just a little bit anxious, especially this left tackle out on this near side, and that is Todd Laster.
Bob, you were right. He was ready to get back to coverage.
Going.
He just did it about 2 steps before the snap. You know, you don't see a shotgun very often at all in high school football.
Not very often.
But Byrd has used it several times tonight, and with their quarterback, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go to it more. Maybe not this deep, as they have a 2nd and very long.
As soon as we get through this play, we're going down on the field with Ed, but right now it's 2nd down, about 21 yards to go. Once again from the shotgun. Murray looks over the Bearcat defense. He's got them spread out. Once again, a high snap, and Murray is going to put the arm to it, shoots it upfield. It's going to be incomplete out around the 38-yard line. Okay, Ed, I saw you down there just a moment ago. You were kind of eavesdropping on that offensive unit. What's going on?
Well, Coach Gillum was just telling them to take their time to slow down. He's putting in, I think, maybe a little bit more on this unbalanced line that you're going to see in the second half, and he was pointing out to each one of the linemen exactly what to do. He's trying to get Meeks to get a little bit closer to the line. Now, I just picked that up. I don't know if he's setting up too far back or what, but anyway, Coach Gillum was just asking them to to take their time, make sure that they got their right blocking assignments. Coach is in a much better mood than when he was talking to me.
All right, okay, so we've got a break in the action. Byrd has called timeout, so with our score, Ruston nothing, Byrd nothing, a 30-second break coming. You're listening to Bearcat Football.
One on their own 26, Bob.
Here we go. 3rd down, about 21, maybe closer to 22 at their own 26, as Joe says. Slot formation set right. Man in motion to that side. And Murray rolls back, puts everything he's got into it, and shoots it way out there and way out of bounds across the Byrd bench across the way. And it will bring up 4th down and kicking time for the Yellow Jackets.
Bob, if there was any question on the strength of Murray's arm, that wasn't
so at that time,
it wasn't a particularly accurate pass, but he threw it a mile. as let's see if the Bearcats put on the block of the return as the Bearcats send Kenny Wright back to receive.
And Bo Fleury back to do the punting for the Yellow Jackets, standing at his own 11-yard line. 8:38 to play here in this third period. Still no score as a Byrd player hustles out onto the field. They were one shy, and that's at an important spot at the guard position. Little no snap, but he gets the punt away, and it's driving down, and Kenny Wright's going to take it to his 34, and we've got a clip showing up out there at about the 35, and Wright finally goes down at the 39. So that will all be for naught, as a 15-yarder is going to be stepped off against Ruston here.
Bob, that was a 41-yard punt, and I don't know that there was anybody in the stadium that doubted that that was the correct call.
That's for sure. That was about as wide open as you will ever see a penalty.
So the ball would have been at the 39, but unfortunately with the penalty back to the 24 and 3/4 of the field to go with 8:24 to go in the third quarter and no score. And as Ed mentioned a few moments ago, Coach Gillum told the offense just to settle down, not hurry it up. And I don't know about that spot from the flag. Well,
okay, the penalty occurred at the 36-yard line, so that's where it stepped off back to the 21, and that's where Ruston will put it in play. First down and 10 with 8:24 to play here in the third period. Still no score in this football game. Here come the Bearcats. They need to get it in overdrive now. No score. Slot set to the wingman set to the left side, and now in motion that way. And a handoff to Cornelius. Cornelius got some running room. He's still on the ground. And the flag goes down, but a big run, and he's going to carry it all the way for a touchdown. This is Cornelius Sims for 79 yards, but hold the phone. Flags are down back at the Ruston 33-yard line. And a beautiful, beautiful run there, Joe, by Cornelius Sims, all for naught.
Bob, have I questioned an official tonight? I don't know about that call. We'll check it out.
Let's see what it's going to be called. They threw it, Sims cut outside, and it will probably either be another cliff or holding call. Let's see what we'll have coming up.
Well, I want to tell you, it was well after the people cleared out when that flag was thrown. I'm not going to say it was a late call, but I'll just call it late.
Okay, there's 5, there's 10, and 15 is coming up. A 15-yarder. And a clip is called against the Bearcats. Clipping once again. 2 in a row. Clipping penalties called against Ruston, and this moves it back to about the 18-yard line.
Well, he threw that flag quicker than they spotted the ball at the end of the first half.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. At the 18 of the Bearcats, after a 79-yard touchdown run by Cornelius Sims, is brought back on the clipping penalty. Center slot inside to this right side. Bo Beeks the ball on the far hash. Bo looks over that defense on a first down at about 13. Bo drops back. Bo's got a man out here. He has got Dean. Dean hustles upfield to about the 30-yard line. It's going to fall forward to about the 31 and going to come up just shy, I believe, of a Bearcat first down. Dean with some tough running tonight, Joe.
Bob, I was going to say he'll get about 13 yards or so on that play statistically, but I want to tell you, that last 3 yards was hard. He was hit really hard. He kept his balance, fell forward, and a good job by Mwalamu on that play, giving the Bearcats second and short. Maybe they can make something happen as we have 7:27 to go in the third quarter of play and no score.
Nose of the ball's just touching the Bearcat 31-yard line. From an I formation this time with Trotter Hunt on a wing to this right side. Left end split out. Now Hunt goes in motion to the left. And a handoff over this right side. This is Scotty, and he is out across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. Comes Scotty Roan for the Bearcat first down.
Bob, a good job of balance running that time by Scotty Roan. He almost fell down at the 31-yard line. He touched the ground with his left hand, kept his balance, spun forward for another 6 yards, and a good job of running by Scotty Roan, and the Bearcats look the best they have all night offensively right now, despite that questionable clipping call.
Well, they've had one touchdown call back. They fumbled on the 3-yard line. Let's see if they can keep something going now. In motion to the left side, and a handoff to Cornelius Sims. Sims is up to about the 40-yard line, and the ball was on the ground, but I think the officials are going to say he was down. That's right, down by contact, up near the 40-yard line, gain of about 2. It's going to bring up second down and close to 8 yards to go. Clock continues to move, 6.5 minutes to play in the third.
Meeks trots over to the sidelines, come back very poised to the huddle. I'll say this, they don't look rattled. They may have messed up a couple times, but they don't look rattled, and the senior Meeks breaks them to the line of scrimmage, 2nd and 7.
A wing set to the right side. Left end split out. Give it off over this right side is Dean. Dean breaks some tackles. Dean is to the sideline. He is to the 30. He's to the 20. He's going to go. He's to the 10. Touchdown and no flags on the ground.
Bob, you've got to give some great credit on that 60-yard run to the left side of the offensive line. Martin and Lear and Andrew James in that. Then also gigantic David Smith, all 5'6", 150 pounds of him, about the 30 or 35-yard line. A key block, and that sprung Dean loose, and the Bearcats finally, with exactly 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, go on top, 6-0. Dean, by routine night, 3 carries, 110 yards.
Good average on that night. Okay, wait for the snap. And Bo Meeks has got it. Slow snap, but he puts it on the ground, and it's up and through by Matt Willis. 6 minutes to play in the quarter. It's Ruston 7, Byrd nothing. A 60-second break. You're listening to Bearcat football.
The Bearcats on top. 6 minutes to go in the third quarter. The Bearcats score 5 plays, 79 yards, 224. And Ed, you have an injury report.
Well, no, actually not. Cornelius Sims was complaining about his right side, his right rib, and had settled down in front of the fan and was trying to get his breath. And then all of a sudden, he picked up his helmet. They needed him on the field. He started running. Then they waved him off the field. He's okay.
Yeah, the way he was heading toward the field, Ed, he looked good.
Yeah, he's in, of course, when the coach turned around and said, you in, he went immediately, ribs or no ribs.
Okay.
But he is okay, by the way.
Good deal. Matt Willis has the ball at the 40, 7-0 as the Bearcats finally break the ice, and a short little pooch kick, and it's going to be taken at the 30, and he's going to be dropped at the 29. They'll give his forward progress, though, at the 30, and that's where Byrd will take over. 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line, as Bo Fleury took that and was hit immediately.
Bob, the Bearcats lined about 6 players up on the right side of the kicker, and almost like you see when there's an onside kick situation, some of the speedsters like Hunt and Mason, and the ball, they almost got there before the ball got to the ground, and again, a great job of coverage by the Bearcats. The Yellow Jackets have it 1st and 10 on their own 30.
5:55 to play in the third. As the Bearcats have finally broken the ice, they lead it now 7-0. Murray down under center. Man in motion to this near side. Give it off to the lone setback, and he's trying to get some yardage across that right side over there. Finally gets a couple of yards and is dragged down there, and it's going to bring up second down and about 8 yards to go.
Good job that time by Jason Roberts coming off the bottom of the pile with Richard Anderson and Matt Turner, and the Bearcats defense looks alive. That last drive really gave them a spark, particularly after the 60-yard touchdown run, and the Yellow Jackets have a 2nd and 8 down 7-0. The ball on their own 32-yard line. 5:20 to go in the third quarter.
Scoring-wise so far this year, the second quarter has been the Bearcats' big one. They've outscored their opponents in the first 2 games 35-0. Third quarter, they've also owned it. They've outscored their opposition 20-0. Pass play is incomplete. Good defense over there, and almost just about as close to an interception as it was a reception for the Bearcats. It'll be third down and about 8 yards to go, facing Murray and the Yellow Jackets.
Bob, maybe in another play or two we can go down to Ed to pick this up, but from our vantage point, it looks like the hitting is vicious down there in the trenches. Even away from the play, they're really laying the leather to one another.
Kevin Stinson, incidentally, was the one out defending for the Bearcats. Murray from the shotgun again. Rush is coming. Complete pass, and is going to be good for, I believe, a first down. Depends on his mark here. He needed to They've gotten just across the 40-yard line, and it's going to be close. The ball is going to be touching the 40, and this is going to be just about as close as you get to a first down. And you would figure even if they don't have this, they will definitely go for it, because if it's not a first down, he's going to be just a couple of inches shy. 4:42 to play in the third.
Bob, I guess we can do this from up here as we're waiting on the measurement, but it looks like to me in the spot department, the Yellow Jackets have gotten a good break all night long. Ed, you're down there on the sideline. Can you clue us in?
On the spot on this one?
Yeah.
The ones that you and I have been discussing off the air.
All right, tell us this one. You got it?
You got it. Yeah, he got it. It was also kind of a kind spot. And yes, Joe, I would say from my vantage point, you've got these guys out here, they're officials, they're trained to do this. I'm not really questioning their spotting. However, it just seems like possibly they have been a little bit kinder to Byrd on some of these spots.
That was a pretty diplomatic, subtle questioning of spotting, wasn't it, Bob?
The way the two refs were running at me right after halftime kind of spooked me a little bit.
Okay, it's 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. 4:35 and moving now here in the third. Murray drops back. Murray's got a rush coming. Murray gets away. Murray's to the line. He's to the 45 and is down at the 45. A gain of 5, and it'll bring up second down for the Yellow Jackets at their own 45-yard line.
Bob, I don't know if Murray's going to have to do that many more times. He picked up 5 yards, but he was punished at the end of that run. As we have 4:08 to go in the third quarter with the clock moving. 2nd and 5 on the Byrd 45. Ruston on top, 7-0.
Second down, 5 to go. The ball just outside the 45-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. They come to the line, put a man out to this near side, wide out to the right, split the backs. Murray on a long call on a 2nd and 5. Gives it to the first man through. He is hit right at the line of scrimmage, and everybody is pushing and tugging, and he's going to go down at the 45. It'll bring up third down and still about 5 yards to go for Byrd.
Good job that time by Turner, Chad Thompson, Richard Anderson, and really I guess we could call one or two folks that weren't in on that tackle a good job of gang tackling by the Bearcats. And this brings up what may prove to be a critical play, 3rd down and 5, or 4, let's call it, on the 46-yard line. 3:12 left to go in the third quarter. The Bearcats on top, 7-0.
They gave him close about 3/4 of a yard on that carry, I guess, and that's about all. We're coming to right now, we're at 3 minutes left here in the third period of play. Man in motion to the right. And Murray dropping back. Murray's being rushed. Murray drops the football. And Byrd has recovered it, though, back at the 38-yard line. Well, Joe, that one just actually slipped out of his hand, and it's going to be kicking time for the Yellow Jackets.
Good job by Corey Mason that time as he rushed the passer and almost caused the fumble. Would have been a big turnover, but that clearly forces the Yellow Jackets into a punting situation. A good job by the Bearcat defense as going back to receive is Kenny Wright. And with 2:25 to go in the third quarter, the Bearcats have the opportunity to put more points on the board. Bob?
Okay, Bo Flurry back to kick it away, standing at his own 25-yard line on a 4th down and 12. And a high snap, but he jumps up, tall fella gets it, and the punt is heading downfield. Takes a bounce, and the Bearcat players back away. No! Kenny Wright now picks it up and heads upfield. Still fighting. He is away. He's to the 35. He crosses the 35 to about the 38-yard line. Well, just when everybody thought it was going to be blown dead, Kenny decides to pick it up and run with it. Bob, good yardage upfield.
I imagine the coaches are happy with the positive yardage. However, I think they're going to discuss with him whether or not he should have picked that, because there were 2 or 3 Yellow Jackets right around him, and the crowd gives the Bearcat defense a well-deserved round of applause. About a 10-yard return after a 44-yard punt.
1st and 10 at their own 39-yard line for the Bearcats. The ball resting on the far hash. 1:55 to play in the third. Ruston up 7-0 over Byrd.
Yeah.
Wide out to the left as Bo Meeks drops back. He's got it out to Trotter Hunt, and Trotter drops the football at the Byrd 40-yard line. And Joe, Bo Meeks just feathered that football right into Trotter's hands.
Well, it was right on the money, and the first guy to come to say tough luck is Bo Meeks to Trotter Hunt. As Well, the ball was there. Beautiful pass by Meeks as we have 1:50 to go in the third quarter of play. The Bearcats on top, 7-0, and that was perhaps Meeks' best effort of the night, Bob.
Okay, second down and 10. 1:50 to play in this third period. Put Derek Moreland out to this right side this time as Bo looks over that defense and gives it to the first man. Through a big hole for Scotty Roll across midfield down to the 40-yard line of the Byrd Yellow Jackets. A big, big run of a little over 20 yards.
22-yard run by Roan, and Bob, that's one maybe to highlight on the highlights next week. The fans, before they look at that play, better get their blink over because he was through that hole so quick. A tremendous job of blocking by the front five. Martin and James and DeMoss and Lair and Gillum, a good job opening a big hole for Scotty Roan.
Marcus Roan comes out to this right side. Hunt in motion. No, that is not Hunt in motion to the left. And Bo Meeks is drawn a drop back, though. He's got a man wide open. Lob the big tight end to the 15. Almost the ball. It's going to be covered by Ruston at the 5. Oh, boy, who is on it? Marcus Roan. Almost a turnover, but Marcus was Johnny on the spot. It's first and goal at the 5.
Tremendous heads-up job. First of all, a good catch by Love. He fought for extra yardage. That's one of those times maybe when extra effort can cost you. They hit him hard. 35-yard play. Marcus Roan, Johnny on the spot. Heads-up play, recovers the fumble, and here come Meeks and the Bearcats first and goal on the Byrd 5-yard line with 1:17 to go in the third quarter.
And the way this football game is going right now, Joe, a touchdown here, if the Bearcats can get it in, boy, would that be big. First and goal at the 5. 1:05 to play. Hunt in motion to the left, and Bo Meeks is going to roll left. He's got Trotter in the end zone. No, that's not Trotter. That is number 23, Scotty Roan, for the touchdown. Bo Meeks, a 5-yard touchdown to Scotty Roan. It's 13-0 Bearcats.
The Byrd defender was in no man's land. He was out there. Does he guard Roan? Does he come up on Meeks? He was right in between, and a beautiful pass by Bo Meeks with 58 seconds to go in the third quarter. And Bob, I agree with you. No telling what the weather will do the rest of the night, but the field is a little slick, and that'll put the real pressure on the Byrd Yellow Jackets.
Trying for the point after. Out of the hold, Bo Meeks, Matt Willis to try to make it 14. The snap, the place, the kick gets up, and it is good. It's Ruston 14, and the Byrd Yellow Jackets nothing. 58 seconds to play in the third. Let's take a break for 60 seconds. You're listening to Bearcat Football.
58 seconds to go in the third quarter. The Ruston Bearcats 14, the Byrd Yellow Jackets 0. The Bearcats just scored on a 4-play drive that went 62 yards, taking 57 seconds off the clock. So far tonight in total offense, the Bearcats have run the ball 242 yards, passed for 72, and a total of 314 yards total offense and 11 first downs. The Bearcat defense has held Byrd to a total of 88 yards total offense. And Bob, you've got a couple updated scores.
Okay, we got one in the third now. It's Provine 12 and Washita 7. Provine 12, Washita 7. That's in the third, and we'll try to get some more for you shortly. And we're all set to go. Ball is teed on the far hash, and the Bearcats are lining up on this right side. Let's see what happens again. And here once again is that high little hooch kick down to the 30. And what a tackle. A necktie right there, Joe, at the 31-yard line. And who was that?
That was Michael Green. I think he's just nicknamed the Assassin.
Apparently so.
Because he just bulldogged him.
Ed, you were down there. What was that like?
It was loud.
I would think so.
What a great play. I tell you what, this kickoff, the high sky kickoff, is working like a charm, just like that touchdown play for Ruston High. It was picture perfect down here, Bob. It just, everybody hit their right man. It just worked like it does in practice, and it looked like maybe about the third string was in there on defense, but it was a beautiful play. Everybody executed just right.
55 seconds in the third. 14-0 Bearcats. Here comes Byrd. Man in motion to the right side. And Murray, a quick pass over the center, and it's going to be incomplete. Big defensive hit just as the ball got there, Joe. And another beauty right there.
Well, Jason Roberts got called for the clip earlier, but Bob, he took his vengeance out on that receiver that time. That's kind of like you see it on the pros sometimes. They say, oh, you want to be a wide receiver in the NFL? Well, as he was coming across the middle, Jason Roberts, all 170 pounds, just barreled into the receiver and inflicted great damage.
Joe, before we go any further, we want to say one thing. I'm sure everybody's heard it on the news today and yesterday, last night. The Byrd High player who was shot yesterday afternoon and during an attempted carjacking. Some fellows were trying to get his Jeep. Here's a pass play from Murray. It's incomplete. And we were told tonight he, of course, was a member of the Byrd High football team. He was shot. All four would-be assailants have been arrested in Shreveport, and they are being charged accordingly. The young player is doing okay. The bullet will not be removed at this time. We were told tonight, Joe, that the bullet is just close to his heart, and as a matter of fact, they were thinking that they might have brought him over here tonight to see the football game. I don't know whether they did that or not, though.
He's on the sidelines.
He is on the sidelines. He is here. Okay. Well, that is fantastic news. In the pass play, once again, it's going to be incomplete, and it's going to bring a 4th down and 10 for Byrd, and time to kick it away. Okay, 14-0, Joe. Things are looking much, much better for this big crowd who is gathered here tonight on this near side.
Bob, incidentally, that player that you mentioned for Byrd, if I can pick up a number, is it 88?
58. George
Tannehill is on the sidelines over there for Byrd, so we're glad that that young man's okay.
Fantastic news. Okay, Flurry back to kick it away on a 4th down and 10, and gets it away, and a boomer. Oh, man, what a punt. And Wright is back to the 16, takes it, heads up the far sideline, almost a cliff over there, but the Ruston player backed off on it, and Wright is still on his feet and still dancing around up to around the 25, and will be hustled out of bounds finally at about the 26.
Bob, that was Jason Roberts who got flagged for the clip earlier, and he almost
got another one.
Stopped and held those hands high in the air as if to signal the official, not me, and listen to this Bearcat crowd expressing its appreciation for the defense.
Okay, 14-0, 22 seconds to play here in the third as the Bearcats take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. Up they come to the line, the ball on the far hash. On a 1st down play coming from Bo Meeks in this offensive unit with a slot set to this right side. Bo, hand off to the second man through. Not much is there. Maybe a couple of yards upfield to around the 28, 29-yard line. And on the carry was Marcus Amos, and that's going to be the final play of this third quarter also. And Ruston will take a lead of 14-0 into the 4th and final period. And that is it. The third quarter is history. Let's take a break for 60 seconds. You're listening to Bearcat Football.
20 yards away. You're going to have to take it. Screen.
This is Amos. Okay, we didn't have the end of the third period. We had an injury, and we had a screen pass set up here, and a beauty it was to Marcus Amos coming to this near side and down the sideline and out of bounds. Let's see where they're going to mark him out at about the 47-yard line of Byrd, and that will now draw to an end the third period, and the Bearcats are going to be in beautiful shape to start the 4th and final quarter, and they will have it 1st down and 10 at the Byrd 47-yard line. So the third quarter now is over officially. Let's take a quick 30-second break. You're listening to Bearcat Football.
On the Byrd 47, and Bob, at the end of that last play, a tremendous block again by David Smith.
One of the biggest fellows on the field, too. Here comes David out to this near side, put a slot man. This is Trotter Hunt also over here as we get set to start the 4th and final quarter with Ruston up by a score of 14-0. In motion, Amos to the right side. Bo Meeks dropping back. Bo Meeks Pumps once, pumps twice. He's got a man down there. It's incomplete at the 15-yard line. In and out of the hands of Marcus Amos.
Bob, that quite simply was touchdown.
Yep, right into his mitts. And once again, Bo has just feathered it right into him, but Marcus couldn't quite hang on to it at the 15. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
That's the second one tonight that Meeks has thrown like that, right into the hands of the receiver, but just not there. Maybe the ball was a little wet. But in any event, 2nd and 10 on the Byrd 47, 11:54 to go in the game. The Bearcats on top, 14-0.
Slot set to this left side once again, and here's a pitch back to Sims. Sims comes around this left side. Not much is here. He's going to be dropped at the line, and a flag goes down very, very late just as Sims goes to the ground. And let's see what we've got now.
The flag was thrown by the referee from the backfield, and, well, we can't tell.
Ed, what you got down there?
Well, it looks like they're talking to the Byrd
Clipping. They just
captain.
Another clipping penalty is going to be brought up here against the Bearcats. At least that's what Marcus Amos is just, yep, there it is officially from the ref.
You understand from the sidelines here, we got some big guys in the Bearcats. I can't see over them, and I'm 6'1", and I can't see over them, especially with these shoulder pads and everything else. So you're going to have to take some of these guys.
And what you do is just go up there and tap them on the shoulder and say, "Excuse me."
Yeah, Bob. I'll do that next week, okay? With you by my side.
A huge penalty marked off. It's back to the Ruston 37-yard line. 2nd down on a clipping call against the Bearcats. 2nd down and about, actually maybe close to 30. And a man comes in motion to this side, and Bo's dropping back. Bo's got protection. He's got time, and he's got a man open at the 50. He is inside Byrd into the playing field to about the 49-yard line, and that is Derek Moreland on the reception.
Bobby looked like he wanted to break it out to the right, then stutter step, cut back to his left. Maybe that stopped his momentum. That was the end of the play as the Yellow Jacket defenders converged, but Meeks was Johnny on the spot. Excellent pass. 3rd quarter statistics, the Bearcats, 40 plays on the night, 314 yards total offense, 242 on the ground. Again, the defense has held the Yellow Jackets to a total of only 88 yards on the entire night.
Oh, boy. And Ruston up by a score right now, 14-0. Trotter Hunt in motion to the right side. The ball on this near hash. On a 3rd down at about 12. Bo Meeks. Bo pumps one time. Now a little swing pass out in the right flat, and not going to get much, maybe a couple of yards upfield. And once again, flags are flying everywhere very, very late. And we've got a little extra stuff going out there right now, and let's see what we've got. It's going to be coming up against Byrd, apparently. Yep. Talking to Marcus Amos right now. No, well, let's see. Marcus is saying personal foul is coming up against the Bearcats. Ed, have you seen anything down there right now?
Well, I called it against Byrd as a late hit. I don't know. Maybe I saw the wrong color uniform, but that looked like a late hit on the Byrd player. But it looks like the referee now has called a personal foul on a late hit against Ruston.
All right, 15 yards, stepped off back down to the Ruston 37-yard line. Another huge penalty.
Ed, was that your basic 17-yard penalty that was just stepped off?
From the spot? Yeah. Well, you know, what can you say? Well, I'll let you say it, Joe.
It was an awful call.
Okay, David Smith comes out to this near side. Let's see the officials now. Well, Byrd is taking a timeout, so we've got a break in the action. 10:24 to play in the football game. Ruston 14-0. And let's take a 30-second break. You're listening to Bearcat football.
The Bearcats have had yet another penalty stepped off. That was your clipping penalty that was worth 17 yards as the officials stepped out a couple extra inadvertently. 10:24 to go in the ball game. The Bearcats on top, 14-0. They have the ball 4th and 26 on their own 37-yard line, and, well, let's make it a punting situation with Matt Willis will take the snap on about his own 23. Bob?
Okie doke, here we go. 10:24 to play. And the rush is coming, but Matt gets it away. And a floater is going to come down, and Ruston will kill it at the 30-yard line of Byrd, so that's where they'll put it in play. 1st and 10, starting from their own 30-yard line, down by 14-0. It is still Provine 12, Washita 7. That's a 33-yard punt off the foot of Matt. And as we said, it's still 12-7, Provine over Washita, and Provine now is down at the Washita 24-yard line. So we'll try to keep you up with that, too, coming from Jackson, Mississippi. 1st and 10 for the Byrd Yellow Jackets. The ball just about the length of the football inside their own 30-yard line. Resting on the far hash, put a man on the wing to this right side. Left end split to the out across the way over in front of the Byrd bench. Split the backs, and Murray on a long call. Murray gives it to his halfback, and he is going to be humbled back in his own back. They'll lose about a yard, maybe a couple of yards, back to around the 37, 38-yard line. Right up 2nd down, about 12.
Ed had an interesting question on that last penalty. They called a clip. If it's a dead ball foul, that's a personal foul. That's tacked on, but if it was a clip in the middle of the play, that should have been a 3rd down repeated. But
yeah,
it wasn't.
It wasn't. Okay. Well, Ed's talking to some of the coaches down there, and we'll try to find out. Okay, it's going to be 2nd down, 12 yards to go. Slot said, well, in double slot formation. Murray from the shotgun again. He has got a man here, but he overthrows him, and the ball goes sailing into the Ruston Bearcat bench, and we'll bring up 3rd down and 12. Edge, find out anything?
Yeah, it was a 3rd down play when they called the clipping penalty. However, it was a dead ball. So the ball was dead. They called the clipping after the play was over, and so we lose the down, and we kick on 4th down. But I was puzzled, as was Joe. I asked him off the air, was that a 3rd down clip? He said, yeah, clipping penalty. He said, yeah, and but the coaches have assured me that it was a dead ball foul.
Okay. Maybe you can get an explanation on the extra 2 yards.
I'm not pushing it, okay?
3rd down and 12. Murray dropping back. Big rush coming, and he is down at the 15-yard line. And a huge defensive play right there by Ray Peace.
Well, Bob, they've been pressuring him the last few series, and you could see it coming, and indeed it was there. Ray Peace closed the door on Murray, and that's another excellent defensive effort by the Bearcats, who now, they had 88 yards total offense going into the half, and now they're below that as they're forced to punt, and again back to receive for the Bearcats will be Kenny Wright.
Okay, Flurry standing back on his own 3-yard line right now, still easing back just a little bit. Kenny is down at his own 35, 8:43 and counting. Here's the snap. Rush coming, and they almost got it. Maybe did get a hand on it. And a very, very short punt. And it's going to be covered at the 35-yard line of Byrd. So beautiful field position coming up here for the Ruston Bearcats as they got a hand on that punt.
That's exactly right, Bob. The Byrd punter was hit very hard, but the referee very quickly gave the signal that they got a part of the football that made any hit legal, and he paid the price both with a short punt and getting the fire knocked out of it.
That's for sure. They mark it at the 36-yard line of Byrd, 1st and 10 for the Bearcats. They place the ball on this near hash, and here come the Bearcats. With a wing, Trotter Hunt set right, left end split out to this near side. Here comes Trotter in motion, and a handoff to Dean. Dean has got a hole. Flags are down. Dean's going to score, but hold on. One more time. It looks like it's going to be brought back against the Bearcats as they lose another touchdown on a penalty. That was a 36-yard run once again by Dean.
Bob, I'd give $10 to have a video of Coach Gillum on that.
That's for sure.
I don't know whether it's the players or the referee or both that he's frustrated with, but that headset came off, and again, the Bearcats hurt themselves with the penalty.
Well, lose another touchdown, Ed.
Looks like a holding penalty against Ruston. I didn't know if we had those Arkansas referees back then. It was last week.
That's for sure. Where are they from? Okay, here comes the penalty. Fixing to be stepped off against the Bearcats and take the touchdown off the scoreboard. Holding against Ruston, moves it back out to the 45-yard line of Byrd. It'll be first down and about 20. And
8:22 to go in the ball game, Bob.
14-0, Bearcats leading, but they've had two erased off the scoreboard and fumbled another time down on the 3-yard line. And we've got let's see, nope, we were okay. And a little screen pass set up to J.P. Love. There's a couple of blocks, another block, and Love fighting for yardage. He's inside the 40, down around the 38-yard line for Ruston. It's going to bring up second down and still long yardage to go, about 13.
Bob, at the end of the play, Meeks really paid the price. He was hit hard. On the night, and for what it's worth, the Bearcats have been penalized 8 times for
98 yards. Once again, last week well over 100, and tonight once again heading for that 100 mark. Second down and about 13, 14 yards to go, 7:40 and counting left in this football game. Ruston up by a score of 14-0, and have had 2 off the scoreboard on penalties. Hunt comes in motion once again at this near side. Give it off to Marcus Amos. Amos breaks the tackle. Amos cuts to this side. Amos is going to score. 20, 10, 5, touchdown.
And no
flags this time.
39 yards, Bob.
39 yards on the run as Marcus Amos took the handoff, headed over that right side, then cut back to this left side. There wasn't a Byrd Yellow Jacket anywhere around, and he took it in. It's Ruston 20 and Byrd nothing.
Bob, an interesting stat on the night to give you a per average rush. The Yellow Jackets have carried it 17 times for 9 yards, an average of .53 per carry. The Bearcats 32 for 283, 8.8 yards per carry.
Okay, Matt Willis to attempt the point after. It's kicked, it's up, it's good, and 7:18 to play in this football game. It's Ruston 21, Byrd nothing. A 60-second break. You're listening to Bearcat football. Hey.
Took only 1:15 off the clock, and the Bearcats and the Yellow Jackets both were lining up on the wrong end of the field.
Get everybody squared away, Joe. Get everybody going in the right direction.
Well, we were trying for a massive offside penalty on the Yellow Jackets, but Willis will be set to kick off again. What he's been doing tonight is very close to what some would call a sky kick. He certainly kicks it very high in the air. He has about 7, well, right now he indeed has 7 players to his right. Kicks it very hard, and predictably it's going to land around the 30-yard line. They've got some speedsters like Corey Mason and Trotter Hunt and Green across the way, set to get down there under the ball. And so far tonight, as Ed mentioned earlier, the Bearcats' coverage has been very good. Bob is trying to get an update on some scores. Apparently, Ouachita is having some of the...
Ouachita is having all kinds of problems. Provine has scored again, and Ouachita is just taking the kickoff. And, almost another fantastic hit, but we're going to have flags on this one. Maybe got a face mask coming up here at the Byrd 30-yard line. Well, let's see what the penalty will be. 7:10 to play in this football game, and the Bearcats have finally got settled in, and they're up by a score now of 21-0.
Bob, the official on
face mask penalty.
I think that was the correct call, but I noticed the official on this near side of the field was about 60 yards away from the play, and I don't believe he saw it, but he saw the other flags go up, so he just kind of tossed one up in the air, too.
Yeah.
He hadn't thrown one.
You got it in your pocket. You might as well throw it on the ground.
That put the Bearcats over the 100-yard mark in the penalty division, Bob. In all seriousness,
2 weeks in a row.
Coach Gillum's not going to like that, but with 7:10 to go in the ball game, the Bearcats are on top with a commanding 21-0 lead.
At their own 45-yard line for the Byrd Jackets, slot formation from the shotgun again. Murray shoots it up. It's complete to the Ruston 42-yard line. 9 penalties, 113 yards so far on the night for the Bearcats. That reception made by Byrd for the Yellow Jackets. At the 41-yard line of the Ruston Bearcats, it's first down and 10 to go. 6:59. The clock stopped as they moved the chains, and now they crank it up. And 6:55 left in this football game now. Ruston up by a score of 21-0. Slot set out to the left side this time from the shotgun. Murray's being rushed. Gets away, drops the football, and now recovers it at the 40, and flags are down.
Bob, I think, to stick my neck out, this one's going against Byrd.
I believe it will, and Murray was a mighty lucky young fellow to get that football back. As he headed upfield, he dropped it, and there were a couple of Bearcats there, but he dove head first in for it and was able to come up with it. But the penalty is going to be coming up against the Yellow Jackets now. And Victor Robinson tells the official, mark it off. Holding against Byrd. 6:36 left in the ball game. 21-0 Bearcat lead. And this will move the ball back inside Byrd's end of the playing field, back at their own 46-yard line.
Well, a little ugly, but a lot of penalties tonight. Not as many against Byrd. Some of the fans starting to leave as we have 6:36 left to go. But Bob, a little early to start to wrap the game up, but I would have to say the storyline of tonight's game is the Ruston defense.
Absolutely. To hold Byrd to what the amount of yardage that they have amassed so far. Oh, a high snap almost over Murray's head, but he was able to pull it down, and then goes the pass, but it's going to be incomplete. Almost a fantastic catch there by Byrd at midfield, but it's going to bring up second down and long yardage to go.
Bob, the assassin put the hit on again, also known as Michael Green.
As Michael Green.
Two big hits, maybe three tonight, with the people coming across the middle, and big hard hit.
Ball at the 46, second down, about 24 yards to go for the Yellow Jackets. Play comes in from the bench across the way on this second down play. 6:28 to play in the football game. Clock stopped on the incomplete pass. Here comes Byrd. Slot set left. Murray pumps once, then throws the ball upfield. It's going to be batted down by number 83, Chad Thompson. Third down coming for the Yellow Jackets. Clock stops, 6:22. That play 6 seconds off the clock.
Chad Thompson coming out to get a breather along with Matt Turner. Bob, the defenders primarily sent in and out by Coach Dunbar. They've been keeping them pretty fresh, and that's really told the tale, particularly in the second half when Byrd started off with 88 yards total offense going into this half, and I think it's far less than that right now.
Well, so far they have completely shut them down. They've let them play in the middle of the field, but then that's been it. Third down, long yardage to go from the shotgun, trying to set up a screen pass. They've got it, and they're going to come up way short of a first down, though. Tripped up and dropped around the 41-yard line of the Bearcats, and doing that was Corey Mason on a tackle that really put the stops on him because he may have gotten further upfield for that first down. It'll bring up fourth down, fourth and about 12.
And Bob Murray barely got that off in time to avoid the punishment of Josh Manning.
Just barely. 5:47 and running left in this football game. Ruston up by 3, 21-0. 3 touchdowns, not 3 points. From the shotgun on a 4th and 12. Murray's back. Murray shoots it upfield. It's going to be incomplete, and the Bearcats will take over. 1st and 10, 5.5 minutes to play. And Ed, that may have put the final nail in the coffin right there.
Get my microphone up. We have a penalty on the play, Bob. I think we got a procedure against Byrd on that one. Had a Byrd wide receiver out here that started towards the line of scrimmage a little bit too soon. I even saw that. I'm sure I'm glad the ref agreed with me on this one.
Listen to the crowd.
Well, a big cheer coming out for that Ruston defense. What a job they have done tonight.
And Bob, Coach Dunbar, for the last 3 series that the defense has come off, he's said the same thing. Now that's playing football Ruston defense way. That's playing football.
You know what, Ed? That's what high school football is all about.
I've heard that somewhere before.
1st and 10 Bearcats at their own 41, 42-yard line. Meeks pitches back to Amos. Amos, a big hole inside the 45-yard line of Byrd. First and 10 coming up for the Bearcats. Well, Joe, right now this Ruston running game has taken control, and they're pretty much running it well against Byrd's defenders, who are getting rather tired.
One player away from a touchdown on that play, Bob. Again, maybe they're getting tired. They're probably dejected. They know what the score is. They know the game's over, and kind of hard to keep their spirit up, but the Bearcats sure look a lot better than they did earlier.
Well, it was a 0-0 ball game in the at halftime. Bo Meeks fumbles the ball, but he's able to pick it up and it owns up.
We're talking about how they're looking better than fumbling.
Fumbles the ball on the next play. Loss of about 3, back out to around the 47, 48-yard line, so it's going to bring up second down at about 13. They'll mark it at the Byrd 48-yard line. 4:45 and counting left in this football game, and a 21-0 Bearcat lead over the Byrd Yellow Jackets. Ruston will go 3-0 on the year. Here they come up to the line. From an I formation, Smith split out right. Trotter Hunt on a wing to this left side. Now he heads in motion, and Bo Meeks is dropping back. Bo Meeks is looking downfield. He overthrows Trotter Hunt, and the ball sails out of bounds, and it's going to bring up third down at about 13.
Well, Bob, the Bearcats have a good lead, but they still want to let Meeks throw the ball, and I don't think necessarily to run the score up or anything of that nature, just to move the ball down the field. And good coverage provided that time by the Byrd Yellow Jackets, who haven't given up, although the game is virtually over. And Bearcats have it 3rd and 13 with 4:21 to go in the game.
From an I formation once again, wing to this left side, right end split out, and a little wing back reverse there, and a handoff, and fighting for some yardage and not going to get anything is Derek Moreland, and he may have lost a half yard or may have gotten just about back to the line of scrimmage. Incidentally, we got stats down there on Bo so far for tonight. He come in needing 5:39 to start tonight's game to move in front of Brad Laird. We'll see if we can get what Bo has got so far on tonight.
10 for 16, 120 yards, and a touchdown.
So that moves him down to about 419 yards shy of moving into first place on the all-time career list of passing yardage here at Ruston High School, with Brad Laird right now sitting on top. Okay, Matt Willis is in to kick it away on a 4th down at about 13. And Matt gets the foot into the ball and sails downfield. It's fumbled around down there, and now finally recovered inside the 15. It's going to be down, let's see, around the 12, 13-yard line. So that's where Byrd will put it in play with 3:22 to play in this football game. Ruston up by a score of 21-0.
Bob, Matt was kind of looking for a running into the kicker penalty after that play, but the official, I think his arm is tired.
Yep.
I think he's thrown that.
I thought you were talking about Matt for a minute. I was pleased to say, what's that got to do with
it? No, Matt's arm, it's the referee, his arm is tired.
Okay. First down and 10, the ball at the Byrd 13-yard line. 3:22 left in the game as the crowd now is starting to leave in a hurry. And Murray rolls to this near side, shoots a pass upfield. It's going to be incomplete. Intended out here for Bo Flurry, number 89. So it's going to make up 2nd and 10.
And Jason Roberts was drawing a beat on him. He was going to lay the leather to him again. He must have heard Jason's footsteps.
He knew he was getting close.
Well, it looked like he was open and maybe could have had the pass, but it wasn't meant to be. So the Yellow Jackets face a 2nd and 10. The ball on their own 14. Down 21-0. 3:16 left to go in the ball game, and Bob, the crowd is starting to move on out just a little bit.
Leave in a hurry. Okay, here come the Byrd Yellow Jackets to the line on a 2nd down and 10 from the 13 from the shotgun once again. Murray puts it upfield. It's going to be incomplete again. Intended for Byrd up around the 25, 30-yard line. Things are looking mighty much better down there now.
Oh, yes, indeed. Coach Gillum's a happy coach. He has seen his offense come alive in the second half. The defense has done everything that they needed to do to get the ball back to the offense. And I just, as I said right before halftime, I think you're going to see a different ball club come out. And it was quite evident with the first series of plays that this was a different ball game, that they did listen to coach at halftime.
Yep.
Bob,
have a tendency to do that.
Byrd has 12 yards total offense in this half.
12 yards total offense in the second half. Murray in the shotgun. Big rush coming. Oh, they're almost getting pieced us. Now Josh Manning has got him, but he gets the pass away. Oh, and then what a lick to Dowell upfield and around the 21-yard line. My goodness, as Kenny Wright and his friends were there to meet him just as he pulled the ball in. Corey Mason is there also.
Bob, I think Dowell's going to go back to Murray and say, don't throw me.
Don't do that again.
Because he was hit by about 4 Bearcat defenders very hard.
And was Murray ever a lucky young man to get away and get out of the grasp of Josh Manning as Josh was chasing him from behind and got to him just as he got the ball away. And now Flurry's going to kick it away on a 4th down and about 3. 2:25 and the clock moving left in this ball game. Here's the snap. The kick is away and coming to this near side, and Kenny is going to pick it up at his own 40 and head upfield. He's got a wall down this near side. He's to the 40, to the 20. He gets one more block, and he is going to score.
2 flags.
And we've got flags all around down the field. Oh, my goodness, and another touchdown. Looks like it's going to be taken off the board for the Ruston Bearcats.
Bob, I think they're going to call a hold, but again, it was a late call, and Coach Gillum was down the sideline just about as quick as the players, except he was going after the official. But I predict they won't reverse the call.
Oh, I doubt it very seriously. Well, Ed, it was a beauty, and he came down the sideline right beside you.
Well, he did, and it looked like the Byrd players were just a little tired, Bob. They were just kind of bouncing off of each other and bouncing off of the blocks. Ruston was trying to lay some good blocks on them. It seemed like they were just falling over, and Byrd looks real tired out there in the secondary. Coach Gillum ran down the sideline, too, until he saw the flag. I think he was running after the referee that threw the flag.
Well, you got to remember this Byrd defense has been out on this field just about this entire second half. So, the touchdown is taken off, and they put the ball in play at the Bearcat 44-yard line. 21-0 Ruston leading, and it's 1st and 10 at the Bearcat 44. Hunt comes in motion to this side, and give it off to Cornelius Sims. Big hole over the right. He's across midfield, down to the Byrd 46-yard line.
No flag.
No flag that time. 1:54, 15 counting.
No flag on that one.
No flag. Okay, it'll bring up 2nd down, about a half yard to go for the Bearcats. And the clock continues to move along, heading toward all zeros. We've got 1:35 and counting. Here come the Bearcats to the line. Ruston leading 21-0.
Interesting stat. The Bearcats have had not 1, 2, or 3, but 4 touchdowns called back on penalties.
4 touchdowns and 1 football game called back. And off to Dean. Dean's got his 1st down yardage inside the Byrd 45-yard line to about the 44. That'll stop the clock as they move the chains with 1:11 to play in the football game. Well, they keep the clock on running.
Bob, I predict this officials crew will not be doing the Super Bowl.
No, not this year. Not this year. It's 1st down and 10 Bearcats at the 44-yard line of the Yellow Jackets with 1 minute exactly left in the ball game. Bo Meeks brings him to the line. Wing set right, 21-0 Bearcat lead. And here's a little wing-back reverse, and it's down inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. Goes Derek Moreland, and it's 1st and 10 for the Bearcats at the Byrd 29, and here goes a late flag up again. And let me see, Sims is clapping his hands like this one's going to go against the Byrd Yellow Jackets. And Moreland gives the football back to an official with 40 seconds left in this ball game. Let's see what we've got.
I think it's going to be unsportsmanlike against Byrd. I think one of their players had just a tad of a temper tantrum.
Yep, that's it. It's going against Byrd. 40 seconds left in the ball game. It has been decided a long time ago. Ruston up 21-0, unsportsmanlike against Byrd. That's exactly what it is. And this will be a 15-yarder coming up.
Bob, you can always tell when the officials get a little irritated. That flag went about it wasn't just thrown on the ground. It went about 20 yards up in the air, so he was irritated. So I don't know what the Byrd said.
It was right there in front of you. What'd you get on it?
Well, this was our favorite line judge that called it, and it was not only actions, it was some verbiage that he just really didn't appreciate.
Okay, it moves it to the 14-yard line of the Yellow Jackets. 1st and 10, Ruston, with 40 seconds to play in this football game, up by a score of 21-0. And center slot to the right side, and Bo Meeks pitches it back to Victor Robinson. Victor heads around that right side, and wouldn't you know it, we've got flags down as Victor cuts inside the 10 down to about the 9. 27 seconds left in this football game, but flags in, they're still coming down.
Yeah, well, the rain stops, so I guess we have to have something falling from the skies tonight.
Oh, we have many flags.
Ed, I've got my eyes closed, but I know it's holding or slipping.
Yeah, it's holding. Yeah, you're right. Isn't that wonderful, Joe? It's the perception that you have throughout the years that you've developed on calling these ball games.
No, I just picked it up quickly tonight. You picked it up with this particular referee clip.
Go ahead.
All right, it's at the 19-yard line. The clock running down to 22, 21, 20 seconds. This will be the final play of the game unless we have another penalty. It is first down for the Bearcats, and give it off to Dean over this left side. Dean cuts the corner. He will score. No flags on the ground with 6 seconds to play. Do you believe it?
Great job at the 10-yard line. As I mentioned earlier on Rome, Dean looked like he might have slipped. About to fall down, and kept his balance, skirted into the end zone, and a great job of running by Dean, as Amos and Roan have done tonight also.
Well, it is 27-0 with 6 seconds to play in this football game, and Matt Willis all set to kick it away.
And Bob, maybe Ed can go over and check Dean. He looks a little bit hurt. He's over there with Dr. Ballard. Maybe we can pick up a report on that in a minute.
Kick is up, and it is good. So as they come back up the field with 6 seconds to play, it's Ruston 28, Byrd nothing, a 60-second break. You're listening to Bearcat football.
When big score from Mississippi, Bob.
Final now, Joe.
I'll let you give it.
The number 1 team in Louisiana has went down to defeat in a big way over Jackson. It was Provine 25 and Washita 7. Provine 25 and Washita 7. That's the final for Jackson. Okay, 6 seconds to play in this football game. Ruston up by a score of 28-0, Joe, and a 15-yard penalty also stepped off on the kickoff against the Byrd Yellow Jackets. Boy, we've had close to 200 yards in penalties here tonight.
Bob, you think these are some major league pitchers after the strike that are just keeping their arms warmed up by
I don't know, unless they're practicing. And this time, Matt just kicks it away and out and through the end zone. Go ahead, Ed.
No, it's funny that Joe just said that. I was going to comment. I think these are some umpires from the majors, that's trying to pick up a little extra work
on Friday night.
Bob, I just saw for the Byrd Yellow Jackets, big number 89, 6'3", 200, Bo Fleury square off with that powerhouse tall fellow 5'7", Derek Boyle, and they ran a stare-down contest, but Derek backed him off.
All right. Well, we've got 6 seconds to play in the football game. Ruston up by a score of 28-0, and is Josh Manning trying to call timeout? He is. So we've got a break in the action. A timeout on the field. It's Ruston 28, Byrd nothing. Let's take a 30-second break. You're listening to Bearcat football. Byrd nothing, Joe, and we're trying to get this final 6 seconds out of the way and end this football game. And Murray's just going to drop to one knee and end it because there was no use doing anything else. And this football game is now over. Final score finally comes to an end. It's Ruston 28 and Byrd nothing in a ball game that was all tied 0-0, nothing at halftime. And the Bearcats took control here in the second half and walked away and winning it handily by a score of 28-0 over the Byrd Yellow Jackets. Stay with us now. We'll have the closing moments coming up, and also hopefully
for 5. First and 10 for the Bearcats. For the RBA gets it out. Is good as the team along. Chisholm. Very short kick. Hop foul. Calls for the fumble on the play.